How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for Farming Simulator 22 on the mod map Holmåkra 22. We're going to start with the description, and it reads, Welcome to Holmåkra 22. This is a forestry-only map based on the Scandinavian setting with steep hills and a lot of trees. On the map, you will find a whole new sawmill area set up as a production chain where you deliver wood, which is processed into sawn boards of different measurements. These then need to be dried in the wood dryer situated next to the sawmill. The dry boards can then be sold at Stamnard Wood, along with the wood chips that are produced at the sawmill. If you want to skip the production of boards, you can sell wood directly at Stamnard Wood. The map has been prepared for AI on all gravel roads, which means that you can have AI run loop delivery wood chips, for example. On the map overview, we'll find that the forest has been divided into components depending on their geographical location, stage of growth, and tree species, to make it easier for you and your friends to navigate and find each other. Every compartment has been assigned a number. For this map, we have created all new trees to make the experience even more realistic. On the map, you will find custom spruce, pine, and birch trees, which can all be processed with game machinery. We hope that you will have lots of fun in the forest of Holmåkra. There has been an update to this, and it is changelog 1.1.0.0, and it says, Fix issues with incorrect tree collisions. Fix issue that cause ground foliage not to disappear when plowing. Fix issue with trees in the air on some places. Fix issue with pallet spawner at wood drying station. Other minor fixes. This map was created by Pixel Farm and Oscar8599 and is 210.17 megabytes to download. There are no mods required for this map, and as you can see, this is what the map looks like. You start off in the upper northeast corner of the map, and you own farmland number 1. You are able to purchase every inch of this map. There is no restrictions on purchasing whatsoever. You do not start out with any animal pens. There are no contracts available because there's no non-owned fields. There are production chains that you own, the sawmill and the drying station. There are no collectibles on this map, and there are mods specific to this map. If we look, nothing under the shop menu whatsoever, but if you come to the build menu, you can see that there are under landscaping and painting several additional painting swatches. So starting off here, let's go ahead and open our menu, and actually let's also turn on the help window. Starting here, we're going to look in the very back corner and start all the way back and kind of work our way up. So over here, this is the drying station. Again, you do own it. So as you have wood processing through the sawmill, it then produces boards of various sizes and lengths. So you got board 1, board 2, and board 3. You then take these boards that are produced here and take them to the drying station to produce dry boards. And then over here is the sawmill. Now what you can do is set your boards as they're coming to go ahead and either distribute directly by pressing the change output mode. So if you distribute it, it'll just travel over to the drying station, so it'll be one-step process, not a big deal. You have your inputs for wood right here, your sell wood trigger right here, and your output for your wood chips is right there. Now, I did not see any markers that indicate where the boards and stuff will spawn, but I believe, if I remember correctly, the wood boards will spawn here or on the deck. I can't remember, but in this area, I believe. And then to have your dry board spawn, I'm pretty sure they're right here. Now, if we come over this direction, We have a fuel tank right here. And in here, nope, that's the backside. You do have a washer right there. But inside there, you might have seen the reticle go by. And here is your starting equipment. And back there, inside that little hashed area, is the repair trigger. And then behind me is the shop trigger. See right here. And now let's go ahead and grab our tractor. Actually, let's open the gate first. Then we can just go ahead and leave. Oops, don't want that. We're going to take our little Velmet around. There's not too much to see outside of down at the very southeast corner of the map. But this is our house. Has a wardrobe and sleep trigger. Pull in here. Wardrobe trigger right here. Sleep trigger right there. And now we have a long drive over to the southeast because, as you can see, you have to go all the way around the upper portion of the map, then kind of all the way around the outer portion, and then you can start heading towards that area there in the southeast. Now you can take trails going to various locations in the map. The problem is, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, there's very, very steep areas, and the roads are very rutted. So if you're trying to get up very steep hills, I mean, you can see, just look how steep that hill is right there. Like, very, very steep in some locations. So if you've got equipment that's very not made to go up hills, doesn't have a lot of power or anything like that, like look at that trail right there. You can take it, but it's very rutted. It can be very difficult with certain sets of equipment. Thin wheeled tires might be difficult to get up there too. They might not be able to get the traction necessary, and may lack power to be able to get up there. So normally the wheel types aren't hugely different in amount of traction, but with the sheer cliff sides on this map, it can make a difference, especially just because of how rutted the roads are. Your tires can hit the various ruts far easier if they're narrow than if they're wide. But you can see as we're driving along, there are various types of trees that are segmented along the route. So right now we're passing by the blue area, which is indicating this kind of staggered old growth, and I'm driving off the road as we speak. But as we approach this kind of red area, you'll see a different set of trees. I tell you what, that's the one thing I really like about this map. I mean, this is a raw forestry map, completely just the essence of forestry, because there is literally nothing else to do until you yourself make it. But the fact that each zone is kind of segmented out to be like its own set of trees and its own kind of look and feel to them, I think that's just really cool. Like the fact that you can like go into different sections. Now I don't know if each tree type has their own kind of leaderage and stuff like that when it comes to like the wood value. I'm sure it does, simply because there's some trees in different stages of growth, and you can see like there's different tree types. Like these ones are like the non-harvestable kind of trees off to my right. So these ones you kind of cut down and then segment them up manually yourself. But the ones on my left are the real tall kind of trees that can go through a grinder no problem. Now we kind of have this yellowish orange area coming up on my left, and that kind of indicates, if I understand it right, a kind of building area almost. So you can come in here and just, it's kind of like a flat placeable area, which is it's kind of cool that there are those kind of areas. And you'll see that there's more of those uh, in different locations. So you can see in the southeast, there's that kind of yellowish area, and then in the uh, kind of middle of the map, over by, what is that, area 12, that's another one of those kind of flat placeable areas. But you can see it's just, the forest just goes on for, it feels like for days. And just there are areas where it's just nice and gentle sweeps to the landscape, and then there's others that are just, shears, just sheer drops and real crazy locations that yeah, it's going to be one of those, depending on your mood and how difficult you want to make things, that's what you're going to want to look for. You can also see right here, as we're coming up, we're going to make a left, and a lot of open area too. Like off to my right, there's some open area behind us. So these are kind of areas that you can, potentially, make for farmland, or, anything like that, kind of right away. You'd have to plow them out yourself, but it's available to use. And it's kind of like the old dead areas of the forest. Nice water, like water point right there, big lake. You could build a road going right down to it if that road doesn't already lead you to it. Like, look how much that landscape just drops off right there. Like, this map is perfectly made for the Platinum Edition DLC, and the tools that were available from that DLC. The yarders, the cables, the winches, all that stuff would fit perfectly on this map. And again, look at the sheer face, like right there. Like, going up there with any sort of equipment is going to be almost impossible. You're going to have to use some of the yarding tools and stuff in that Platinum Edition DLC to really kind of make any kind of headway. That, or just cut the trees and let them roll down the hill. You can see like this kind of what looks to be like white birch here on my right. Like, it's just, I really, like I said, I really enjoy how this is like really broken up into different areas. Like, each like tree has their own kind of taste to it, their own look and feel to it. You've got like the whole map is just kind of just segmented out very nicely. And then you've got all these various roads and trails and stuff that'll take you to various locations on the map. And now we're finally down in the southeast of the map. Like, we've been just driving around for quite some time, so it's one of those, like, you're not going to get anywhere fast on this map, simply because of just the way the roads are and how everything's kind of designed. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me that I never did take a look at our starting equipment. So let's go ahead, we'll pull off here and do that. So under the shop menu, if you go into your owned items, you have what we've been driving around, the Valtra Velmet 8750. You also have a, under wheel loaders, a Clostorian 1511. Under trailers, you have the Branther Z18051 2XXL PowerFlex trailer. Under forestry equipment, you have the Kesla 144ND. And under wheel loader tools, you have the Magsy high dump bucket, log fork, and pallet fork. So, not a lot of starting equipment. But, I mean, in this kind of a map, you really don't need it. So, in here is the selling station for dry boards. So you can see all the dry boards that have been wrapped and ready to go. And then over here you have the selling station wood and wood chips. So you have your area to sell wood, sell your wood. Why am I not seeing any of the? Do I have something turned off? No, everything's on that should be. You have an area to sell your wood, and your wood sell trigger is right here, and then your wood chips can be sold over here. And that is the map. That is Holmåkra. What do I think of this? A scale of 0 to 5, and as always, a shifted scale because this is strictly a forestry map. This is one to design yourself and to do a lot of forestry work. I would give this, on that kind of weighted scale, I would give this probably a 4. Just the look and feel of it, the uniqueness of having different trees, and to start out with, you have the kind of altered production chains to be its own kind of unique entity with the drying of the boards and just the boards themselves. You know, you've got all that stuff. So we've got tons of mods on the mod hub that allow you to install various sawmills and carpentries, and for anybody who has the Platinum Edition DLC, you can install a lot of the production chains and stuff from those. So this map could really, like, had, I believe, a lot of life breathed into it by the Platinum Edition DLC, because you can really do a lot of stuff with the wood that's here, and it doesn't have the kind of limitations that, say, the Silver Run Forest map does, where you're getting different literages based on the wood type. You're not going to get penalized for cutting certain trees down. In the sequoias, I think they were. Yeah, you can kind of get a look and feel of just how rutted the roads are, and you know, you can imagine, like, I'm bobbing like that really bad with kind of normal sized tires. Imagine how bad that would be if I was in, like, narrowed tires. But yeah, I would probably give this about a 4, I think, because just a lot of creativity and unique perspective was put into this map. All the different tree types, the zoning, the way that everything's kind of colored out to give you, like, an understanding of what everything is and what location you're at. The numbered grids on the map kind of gives you an area to be able to call out to other players on the same map when you're doing multiplayer, to be able to kind of give them an understanding where you're at. Whew, man, these back roads are real slick. I'm not turning the wheel at all, other like than trying to correct it after the fact. But you can see just how much your tractor, and tractors are normally pretty stable when driving just because of how they're designed, but back here you're yeah, it's going to be pretty rough, especially if you try and come back here with some truck and trailers, some, you know, logging trucks or whatever. It's going to get a little rough back here for you. Here's a little young growth right here for the freshly planted trees. Like, this is just a really cool map, in my opinion. I think they did a great job. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing, that shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.